Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to episode insert number here of the Let's Talk Game podcast. I can never remember what it is. We've got some stuff to talk about, so let's not dither and muck about on it. Chunt, Dan, how are we? Chunt, you first. Always ask Dan first.
Man, I'm fucking awesome. Cool. Yep. It's been a fucking good day. And I've sworn twice in the first 30 seconds of this show. This is how it's going to go.
That's how well the search and discovery is going to work for us, because Chunt breaks it every week.
Sorry.
Dan, how's things?
Things are good. Things are great. I had a good day also.
Ooh.
This is good news.
I want to ask you, but is it...
I was going to say, yeah. What was so good about your day, or do we need to...
Actually, the best thing about the day was that I know that it was the weekend, and things are getting a little bit better in Victoria, so things to actually look forward to a little bit.
Nice. Well, I can't explain what's awesome, so go ahead. Go nuts.
Lock us down.
Hold on to every little bit of hope.
Hell yes.
You don't need hope. You just need a government that will get organised and sort shit out, which no government in the world has done yet. So I don't know why the hell you guys would be the first.
I can't rely on that. You can't rely on that to give you hope.
Nobody anywhere in the world can rely on governments doing things correctly. It's not
Unless praise video games.
Yes.
Correct. Well, I'm a parent. My week's been exactly the same, except I got to play some more video games. I've played a lot this week, which is why I had to actually legit make notes.
Awesome.
We will start with what we've been playing, as we always do. Dan, you can kick us off.
Playing Madden with my brother. Well, not with him, but we're in the same season, so we're just going like kind of week to week. So we're about to play each other in the Super Bowl soon. So that's always fun because I actually tried out, and I think I've tried this out a little while ago, but once again, I tried out the screen sharing stuff on PlayStation 5. So it got to a point, because we were both free at the same time, what we did is he shared his screen with me, so I put it up full screen, and I watched him play his game, and we were talking just through the controller of the PlayStation controller with the microphone and the speaker. And so I was commenting on the game that he was playing, and then after he finished, we put on my game, and I shared my screen with him, and he watched me play my game. So that's
awesome.
That was a bit of fun to be able to do that. And if he was like in the middle of something, I could just put it to the screen to the side and do stuff in my own season while he was fucking around. So that was actually pretty good. But yeah, not many other games this week. No, watch some movies, but yeah, that's about it for games.
John, your turn.
I actually haven't been playing a lot, really. To be honest with you, I tried Quantum Break, and I uninstalled it last night. I was trying to be really positive about it. It was a bit rough and just didn't really grip me. I played it longer than you did, Dan, but I tried. So I uninstalled it pretty much.
I really wanted to like that game. Like I really did, but it didn't hit.
No, yeah, but otherwise, no. I've played bugger all. I've fallen asleep so frequently this week. It's been pretty stressful at work.
What about Warhammer Vermintide? Saw you'd nailed a few achievements in that the other day.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, right. That's what we've been playing. Holy shit. So that's how my week's been. Yeah, man. Vermintide is fun. It's fun, man. Like I played the Back 4 Blood beta because I was like, yeah, man, I want a Left 4 Dead game. I've been hankering for one. And I played the Back 4 Blood beta, and I was like, it's like, well, I thought I wanted this, but I don't think I do. But we went back to Vermintide too, and that game is stupid fun. It's the same kind of game, but it's just done so much better, and it's just blood and chaos and funny British accents going around saying cool things, and like, I don't know if you guys I don't know anything about Warhammer, but this game. And there's another Warhammer game that I played. I don't know. There's a bunch of Warhammer games coming out recently, and some of them are actually quite good. It's awesome. This one, it's on Game Pass, man. I highly recommend it. Sarah and I have been playing that shit for ages. Like, and we uninstall it and then reinstall it because we want to go back and play it again. So I highly recommend that game. But yeah, thanks for the reminder. At least you know what I'm doing. I've got no freaking idea.
That's what that's what I'll have to do from now on. I'm just gonna open your profile up on Xbox and go, when you go, I don't think I played anything. I'll just scroll through your recent achievements and go, well, you've done this week.
That's bullshit, Chunt. You don't even know. Yeah,
I think I know what you've been playing.
It's only because you're chasing his gamer. It's only because you're chasing his gamer score. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, for your own benefit, Chunt, you're recently played games. Elder Scrolls Online, which you've clearly played a little bit more of. Warhammer Vermintide, as mentioned. Looks like you went back to Gears Tactics.
Bullshit. No, I didn't. I accidentally launched it on the PC when I wanted to uninstall it to make room on my PC.
Fair. And then Star Trek Online.
Oh my god! I totally forgot about that.
State of Decay 2.
Oh shit! All right, so Star Trek Online.
They're all before Quantum Break.
Man, I feel like I don't know where I've been this week, man. My week's been all over the shop. But Star Trek Online
Friday episode.
Man, Star Trek Online is horrible. It's abysmal, and it's free to play. But man, these free to play games are actually good. It's disgustingly bad. Sarah just wanted to try it. She was really hyped for it. She spent an hour making her character, and then once we got into it, we're both like, "Oof, what the fuck is this?" We gave it the benefit of the doubt, gave it a few hours, and then was like, nah, this is it. We remove that. Craftopia, promising. It's definitely a game preview. Like, it's rough, but it shows a lot of promise. We actually played it longer than we thought we would. I can see myself going back to it if our island is saved when the actual game launches. I don't know. A lot of fun.
It nearly set my computer on fire.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's poorly optimized, big time. I turned down all the settings as far as I can get it to start running at 60 FPS. Yeah, but I'm like, man, Series X can run this thing, run around circles and take it back in time, and this game is still chugging. So it's very poorly optimized, but yeah. Yes. So that's all I thanks, Jamie. That's all I've been playing. So thank you for that.
Sorry, I'll be your memory.
Thanks.
State of Decay 2 was your last one.
Oh, right. Fucking hell, yeah. So that game has actually gotten better. I played it at launch and I noped out of it. Like, I got a review code ages ago, and I was like, nah. But Sarah and I have been playing it, and man, it's such a better game. I actually want to play it, which is odd because these are the kind of games I don't really go for. What I don't like is you can't make your own character. You've got to bounce between whatever people you find or start with in the game. I hate that. And you've got to swap them out and shit, and play as other characters while the others rest and stuff. That kind of micromanagement, I hate that shit. But otherwise, fundamentally, the rest of the game is good. It's solid. The combat's great. I don't mind like traversing the land and like looking for houses and fighting zombies and shit. A lot of fun. So I think we're going to go back to that. I've kept it installed. Relatively small game size, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's definitely had some graphical improvements since. Like, it looked freaking rough as balls at launch, but it looks like a good one now. I can see why people play it. I really do. So yeah, I'm
part of that is probably the fact that you have a 4K TV now as well. You can see the textures.
True. Yes.
Cool. Well, now I've finished wrapping up what you've been playing.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks.
My list is extensive, so strap in, boys. Got some thoughts and opinions. I'm just going to go in the order that I wrote it, because I was like writing down in bed last night. I was like scribbling on the iPad, like, oh yeah, and I played that this week to make sure that I actually could talk about it. So Psychonauts 2. Chunt, you've not started it yet, no?
No, it's installed though.
I like it. It's very funny. It's got that very it's Double Fine humor. Like, you look at it and you're like, this is a bit cartoony and a bit kind of not aiming at the Pixar-y type of vibe at all. It's a very different art style, but it is a mind fuck. Some of the ways that the levels warp as you're moving around them, like, genuinely melted my face. I was like, what? I was like, I just wanted to, like, have some enhancers, if that makes sense, whilst playing this game, because like it literally, like, it trips your brain out the way that some of the stages move around and the traversal of them. Like, it's really clever. But so yeah, the clever use of technology. It's very funny. It does do the Ratchet and Clank thing where it can pull you through different worlds like instantaneously. Obviously, they're nowhere near the render quality of Ratchet and Clank. The game's not on that level of visual fidelity at all, but it's still cool to see that kind of tech being used, where it's literally like you're in one place 1 second, you go through a wall, and all of a sudden, bang, different landscape. So I quite like that. I think I've got through the first. So Psychonauts, anybody who's not familiar with the series, you basically invade people's brains to solve mysteries. That's probably the easiest way of putting it. I'm in my third brain, and that was a point where I just got in there and I was like, it's like 11:45. I need to go to bed because children. So that was really fun. I tried 12 minutes. Had the same problem you did, Chunt. I think that game, for not even just for me, but in general, I think it needs to be played on PC. It's a point and click, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't. Some point and clicks control well on console. You know, if they can move the cursor around quickly and stuff like that. But this one, absolute hard nope. I think I lasted about nowhere near as long as you did. You said you did what, 12 runs or something?
Not 12 minutes.
Nah, it definitely it might not have been. It might not have been 12 minutes, which is unusual for me because I'm in the hour category usually. There's thinly veiled innuendo going on left, right, and center. But yeah, it's not great. I'm disappointed because the cast, etc. Like I want to be part of that. I want to be involved with it. Like really good cast. Want to see what the story is, but I haven't got the patience for something like this at the minute, which is weird when you consider the amount of games that I'm going to tell you about in a minute that are all MMOs. I also played Donut County, which is on Game Pass. This is weird as fuck. This game is very strange. So you're basically some an emo teen like sat having a conversation about someone that pissed you off, or some turkeys are clucking or something. I can't remember the premise of the start. It's the chickens, turkeys, something's making a shit ton of noise and it woke her up, right? So she's texting this raccoon, as you do. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can make this problem go away. And then you become a sinkhole. You play the game as like a sinkhole and you basically swallow up the town. This town, Donut County. And it's basically, that's how you complete a level. You have to swallow up the whole area you're in. And then you get some more story beats because like the whole town's underground. It's weirdly satisfying. Just this hole keeps getting bigger and you keep swallowing more things up, more innuendo. But it was quite fun just to, like 20 minutes before bed, just like jamming around going, oh, this is therapeutic. So I did that, played that game. Now onto the hard stuff. I started Final Fantasy 14 on PC because I was going to wait for the Xbox thing to eventually come, but when I found out that you could still use an Xbox controller on PC, I was just like, I'll just install it, play it. So I've got 3 or 4 hours in there. It's clunky. That's my big problem. It's a problem that a lot of MMOs have got. Like ones that are older. I think video games have moved on a lot in terms of what an MMO is. Anybody that watches it, you guys obviously know, Destiny is like, that's my MMO. It's an action MMO. It's like you shoot shit in it. I'm good at shooting shit. I like the story. I'm on. That's my game. But I wanted kind of like that, the adventure style like type of it. So I was like, I'm going to give this a try. Everybody seems to think that it's shit hot. You just have to get through the first kind of game, the Realm Reborn bit, and then it kind of really opens up. I don't know if I can get through a Realm Reborn because it's so slow and so clunky and void of character interaction. I was under the understanding that Final Fantasy 14 worked with narrated and acted voice lines, cutscenes, everything like that, whereas I don't think a Realm Reborn did. So it's a lot of just clicking and reading text, and it's like, right, this isn't really getting me. The character creator's wicked, and the moment to moment is what do they call it, tap to target combat. Not a fan of that. I like to feel tactile combat. I don't just like to click at something and my character auto attacks it. It's not the type of games that I've grown up with, so I don't know like how much I'm in for that. Off the back of that, I then went, I'll maybe give Elder Scrolls Online a bit more of a go. Like I said to you, Chun, I've been playing that week before, just kind of sensing where I was in the story. The problem with that game, I think, is that I've started it as like an archer, as a ranger class, and I need to play it as like a champion swordsmith. I need to have a sword or an axe or something that I can swing. Yeah. But I am already something like 30 hours into the main story, so it's like doing that and starting that again. It's like, oh, there's blockers in the way of me enjoying this. Like I should enjoy this. I love Elder Scrolls, but we'll see whether I carry on with that. Next one is Saints Row Remastered. the third one, Saints Row 3 Remastered, was free on
Oh
the
yeah,
Epic Store.
nice.
So I installed that just to go. I'm pretty sure I played this when it was just normal and not a remastered thing. Let's see how pretty it looks. It's pretty. They've done a good job of the remaster. It runs at like 150, 160 frames a second, which is outrageous. Like it makes the game feel much, much quicker than I think it should. So that was an interesting experience. Fun to just run around blowing shit up. There's like dildo bats and stuff in Saints Row 3. It's just batshit nuts. You know, people walk around with like horse heads on, and like people are handcuffed to railings as you're walking past. It's just like, this is just weird. Which I think is something that has annoyed people with the new direction of Saints Row. They want that weird and wacky kind of GTA clone, but just like on speed. Whereas this is that the new vibe is a bit more hipster. I played a little bit of FIFA this week. I actually ran a. They have weekly tournaments, so I actually entered a tournament this week and got pretty far. Got like 4 rounds in and then got dusted. But I was like, oh, this was nice. I actually played competitive FIFA for the first time in a while.
Nice.
I played some more Destiny, and then my last thing on this list. I think it's my last thing on this list. I'm just double checking. It's the last thing on this list. Is New World. So the demo for New World came out. The demo, it's beta, whatever. It's coming out at the end of the month. It's definitely just a stress test. Holy shit. Everything that I've just said about what Final Fantasy XIV does wrong, about what Elder Scrolls Online does wrong, has been corrected in this game. It feels like someone has made an MMO for 2021. As I said to you guys, kind of alluding to the fact that it feels a bit Assassin's Creed. You know, the way the combat flows, it's a little, you know, you got light attack, heavy attack, as you would have in an Assassin's game. And then, you know, you can set your dodge up, you kind of roll out of the way as you would maybe like in The Witcher or something like that. So it's got those kind of trappings of a third person action adventure game, and there's connectivity. When I swing, it feels like I've just hit someone with a sword. It's not that kind of blank, just swinging an axe or something around. So very, very, very into it. The story so far is actually pretty cool. The premise being you get told by some hooded dude, it's like, oh, you're going out on a voyage. Well, it's actually telling the captain of your ship, you know, you're going on a voyage to this forgotten land. Think like Bermuda Triangle, like what on earth's in the middle of there? They think that there's this land that nobody's ever been able to visit before. You wash up kind of on the shore, sea wreck, you're a member of that crew, off you go. Like this is a new world, like a new island for you to explore. Towns, etc., all popping up all over the place. Really, really cool premise. It's all voice acted, you know, pretty cool. Quick progress, Chunt, that's something that I know that you like. So you see progression of stuff. So like, you know, if you're going, oh, I need to go craft some potions, because there's no mounts or anything in this game, right? So you have to walk everywhere. You actually have to walk everywhere unless you've unlocked fast travel points, similar to what you would in an Assassin's Creed or something of that nature. And it's just like, it's hitting all the right boxes, but I'm being so cautious that I don't overdo the beta, because your progress is wiped going into the launch, which is like 2 weeks away. And it's like, I want to play it. Like I'm actively sat here like, the only thing that I will say, and this is probably going to impact you as well, Chunt, you can solve it in like 3 minutes if you do want to try it out.
I'm just looking at Steam now.
You have to, on the Steam page, you scroll down and it says take part in they call it like a flight or something. Steamworks demo or some shit. It's like the third one, so you can buy the special edition. Then under that, there's like an option to join the beta program for it.
Request access.
That's the one. So yeah, request access. They'll send you an email, and it'll basically just be in your Steam library. So the only issue I've had with it is the controller support now. As much as I actually did play a little bit with mouse and keyboard. It's not too difficult because you haven't got, you know, like some games you see the hot bars and it's like there's 7, 8, 9, 10 keys you have to remember. This is very much. Think Assassin's Creed again, you know, like in the more recent ones where you kind of hold a trigger down and you have those 4 icons that are for your special attacks, or you can just, it's literally that. So I was like, this is manageable. And then I just tried my controller. I picked it up. Left stick, oh, it's working. Right stick, oh, it's working. I was like, this is sick. Right trigger, swings your sword. I was like, fucking brilliant. But that's it. So they've mapped the controller to do movement and attacks, but none of the hotkeys are binded. So basically, you have to open Steam's controller thingy up and just set your special attacks and your, you know, consume potions just to whatever you normally would. So like I've mapped them to the I've mapped, you know, you would in Skyrim or something. Your potions are on your D-pad, and it took about 2 minutes to map, and it feels I can literally give you my config file. You've got a
Yeah.
Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Works perfectly. So I am digging that, and I want to play it now. I actually want to go play it. I'm all about it. It's my kind of vibe.
I requested access just now through Steam, so we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
let me know if you get it. I'll set a config file from my controller mappings, and you just install it. It's super easy.
Sick.
So as you can see, I've spent 15 minutes telling you what I've been playing for the first time in probably forever, because we've managed to get our children to sleep by like 8 p.m. every night this week. They've gone down and they've slept. So
Fuck yeah, awesome,
I've had a productive video game week. I've really enjoyed it.
Well earned, man. Yes.
Very
Oh,
well.
I know. I've not been able to play anything for a long time, but I think a lot of my week was obviously spent trying to find that. It seems like maybe we're in a bit of a similar state, you know, where we're looking for kind of that evolving, ongoing experience, but in like an action adventure capacity.
Yeah.
So that's why I've kind of been doing the rounds on the MMOs, and yeah, New World could just be hitting at the right time, because obviously there's no Destiny expansion
Might have
till
missed you
February.
saying it, but is it come on the console? I
No,
must have missed that.
they've.
No,
I
it's
mean,
PC only.
I don't know if they're going to stick by that, because they said, if you go to their Twitter, I don't know who runs their Twitter, but I don't think they speak native English for one, and for two,
Right.
I don't think they actually know what's going on. So they told someone that there would be full controller support for launch, and then 2 weeks later they said, we're not planning controller support. And then when you actually start the game, there's kind of half controller support. So it's
Right.
like, what on earth is happening? Someone asked, is this game coming to next gen consoles? They said no, this is PC only. But let's be honest,
We'll see about
Amazon
that.
are putting this game out. If this game goes gangbusters and makes enough money, there is nothing that I see in this game that prevents it running on a console. Like I said, you can quickly map a controller. It's not like it's really difficult. It's 3 or 4 keys. So, and it feels like it was made for a controller, which is even weirder. So I think they maybe did intend initially to go everywhere, but you know, such as the last couple of years. I mean, Amazon are obviously doing this, and they're bringing Lost Ark to the Western world as well, and it's all been delayed. So I think it's just a case of, you know, seeing where they go in the next few
Resources.
years. But yeah, for sure. And again, I'm not too sure if this is a traditional MMO in terms of, you know, you pay a monthly fee. I really don't think it is, because the game costs, it's not a lot. I think here it's like 30 pounds. So that's like super cheap.
It's
Or whether it's
$56 for the pre-purchase New World, and the pre-purchase New World Deluxe is $69.95 in Australia.
yeah.
Okay.
But its integration with Twitch and stuff will be interesting. These games are obviously huge on platforms like Twitch, which are owned by Amazon. So I can see a lot of the kind of Twitch drops, the, you know, viewer engagement. You see already there's 3 factions in the game, and already like big streamers are starting to take control of these factions, and it's like, this could have legs. I genuinely think it could, and I hope it does, because it's fun as fuck to play. So moving along anyway, before we run out of time, literally spending half the show talking about what we've been playing, or
24
what I've been
minutes
playing.
in.
24 minutes in. So Sony did a thing. Sony had a showcase yesterday, and I've got another set of notes for this. Now, we'll drive through this. I missed one off. So let's go from start. We'll just go through it from start to finish. Like, well, I've omitted all the stuff that I really don't think any of us care about, as we typically do, because we don't have precious minutes to waste, especially after I've just spent half the show telling you about video games that I played.
It's all good, mate.
And 10 minutes nerding out over how fucking good New World is. So we open up. My least favorite person in the video game industry appears. I mute him because I don't want to hear his fucking terrible voice. But then bang, straight into the big reveals. We've known for a while that Aspire were rebooting KOTOR. Was it Imran Khan had kind of confirmed
Hinted
it a while
at it.
back, saying,
Yeah.
kind of said, look, yeah, it's not any of these stupid developers. It's someone way more who works on these games. It's that same fucking group of people. So Aspire are remaking,
Yes.
KOTOR. KOTOR will come to PlayStation 5 and PC. There has been zero clarity on the exclusivity window. A lot of outlets are hinting to the fact that it's timed. Aspire themselves, I actually got an email from them, because I think I own KOTOR on Mac or something. So I got an email from them saying, hey, this is being remastered for PC and PlayStation 5. There was no mention of timed exclusivity coming to other platforms later, no nothing.
On the PlayStation blog, it does say it's console console launch exclusive.
Which
So
typically we know that terminology is often,
yeah,
to do with timed exclusivities. So
yeah.
2 years is the thing that I'm seeing being banded around. And Chunters, we were saying yesterday, what does that actually mean? Because if you think if it's not going to come out for another year or two, like what's 2 years from then? Like you may not get this game until the end of this generation at this rate. So
Well,
interested to see more of it.
it's probably following the same timeline as like the Indiana Jones game at Machine Games. Like it's they're probably going to come out around the same time. They're waiting for the EA deal to finish up, and then everything will start with their Lucas Games sector in video games now. So yeah, it's a few years.
It's going to be a while away, but it's cool to have it finally confirmed. I mean, it's been one of those kind of open secrets for a number of years
It's
now. I
interesting to see that game that's normally synonymous with Xbox, KOTOR, now being a PlayStation exclusive for a while.
I was going to say KOTOR actually never came to PlayStation platforms, did it?
No.
So it's like,
No.
it is.
Everything
That's
else,
why I never played
like iPad, iOS, and fucking computers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I bought it. The only time I've ever actually physically bought it, I know it's on Game Pass, but I bought it on Mac like years and years and years ago. Like when I had a MacBook, and it was like
Right.
just because I wanted to play through it. This game that people have always spoke about as being like shit hot.
Well, I bought the original version off the digital store on Xbox, so I mean, I guess I could play that. It was $8. Why not?
I'm
Go for
very
it. So,
curious
yeah,
as to what they're actually going to do with it. How much they stick to what it was. Because it's like turn based, isn't it?
It's turn based. Yeah. Which I don't think.
Gone. I reckon that's gone.
I think that's got to be gone because, I mean, there's proof that it can be done. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. They remade that and did away with the turn-based thing straight away and went, we've got good action combat in-house now. Like, we can just put this in. I'm much more for action combat being in that game.
Yep.
Much more.
Fuck yes.
And it'll be one of those things where I think we'll touch on this whole factor later, like, the week that I sell my PlayStation and then they announce all this cool stuff. But I did point out to you guys, I know I will get another one. It's just why not take scalper prices now?
Yeah.
When I needed a graphics card. So I don't think it's something I can't wait for that. Like I'm not going to be waiting for an Xbox version. It will be if I've got a PlayStation, but I will have. I'll probably have one. Hopefully, supply and demand providing in time for Horizon. But we'll see. I can't wait. Want to see more of it. I think we'll see it at E3 next year. I think it'll probably get gameplay at E3 next year, and then it might come out 2023 end of potential. So it was just a teaser. There's nothing for us to talk about really other than that. Oh, it's been confirmed. It's really cool. We can't wait for it. So moving on to the next interesting thing.
Good opening.
Very, very, strong opening. The next thing I dubbed to you guys as it was like basically Anime Pussy the video game, because the gratuitous shots of this anime chick in tight lycra was very weird. Like the opening 20 seconds were all just focused on her crotch. I was like, this is Japanese.
But that's Japan.
Korean.
They don't give a shit.
It's Korean though, isn't it? It's not. Yeah, like the web address they gave was .kr because I instantly thought this is straight out of Japan, but no, it's another Korean one.
They don't care. I know it's like in the Western culture now these days, like, oh, it's so sexist and misogynist. It's like, whatever, man. Like Asian markets don't give a shit. It's refreshing, I think, but I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm not offended by it. I was like, it was just amusing to me. I was like, this is hilarious.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I can tell people will be saying this kind of shit online, and then here we are, and because it's just obvious, they know what they're doing.
But alas, the game looked quite cool. I was getting very like sort of Bayonetta vibes from it in places.
It looks sick.
And
Bayonetta
sort of
near vibes like that.
It's got that kind of at the what you call it. I can't think of not anamorphic. That's the wrong word. So you've mixed the tech with kind of the Bayonetta kind of Castlevania-esque kind of type vibes. They smashed them together a little bit. It's got the kind of techie play with the the enemy design and stuff as well. I got slight Scarlet Nexus vibes from it as well. It was like I was like Bayonetta, Scarlet Nexus. Like, is this their answer to kind of that kind of thing? I think this is going to be a long way away because it's still a project.
Yeah.
And when we see games that are titled project, that usually means they're quite far out. They don't have a working title yet, so it's just project this. I can't remember what the name of the project was now either.
Project Eve.
Project Eve, yeah.
It was strange.
Project Anime Pussy the game.
Yeah, I think for some reason my Western bias really like kicked in because I'm like everything about this game actually I would really want to try it, but as soon as subtitles popped up I'm like I can't be bothered reading subtitles right now. So something about my Western bias suddenly kicked in, which doesn't normally happen. But apart from that, game looks great. Looks good.
You're too busy looking at the ass, man. You don't have time to read.
I can't read, and like, come on. What I can't keep.
I quite enjoyed the outfit. The outfit gave me very
Yeah.
Chun, do you remember when I sent you those Monster Hunter outfits where you could do the kind of squiddy kind of
yeah.
It's like that crossed with a bit of like Splatoon like kind of vibes, but in
Very
like
true.
anime tech. It was quite cool.
Did
The
not
gameplay
think of
looked
Splatoon that entire time.
squiddy. It's squiddy.
Yeah, it's a little bit
yes.
squiddy.
It definitely made a few people inky. That's for sure.
We'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move. It looks cool. It'll be a long way
It
away
does.
though. Now, probably my standout of this whole thing. Well, one of two. Forspoken. That game already looked good, but now that game looks fucking awesome. And it's cool to see that it's story driven.
Didn't want to talk about the Borderlands, whatever shit that is.
Don't give a fuck. It's just Ashley Birch being Ashley Birch. For
Me neither.
No, we know about it. We talked about it at E3. That's what I mean. Like I've skipped a lot of that kind of stuff. I feel like again we could do the same thing with Forspoken, but I think we actually got to look at what the story's about because all we've seen to date is kind of vistas and character movement. Like they've actually kind of pulled the cloth back and gone, look, no, this is. I heard someone describe it as Narnia-esque, and I was like, that's exactly what this is. You know, it's like she's just been sucked into the wardrobe and she's in this magic landing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I quite like the humor already. Like it's clearly quite a dark environment and, you know, something shady is going down. But the fact that the main character is very much like, you know, what the fuck is going on? Like is tongue in cheek. But that's when it's tongue in cheek enough, isn't it? It's not like taking itself too seriously. And I do quite like that. And then obviously last night, I saw someone refer to the fact that Gary Whitta had wrote the game, and then it turns out it's along with Amy Hennig of Uncharted fame.
Oh.
So some strong writing behind that video game.
Yeah, solid.
The story should be incredibly solid. And then the gameplay, it looks like it's most of the team that worked on Tomb Raider. So it's coming through quite well.
My thing that I grabbed from it, it's like every time they've shown this game, it's been the tiniest bit of like the first time we saw it, it was just like someone jumping over like long distances, and you're like, I don't know what that means. Second one, we introduce who the actress is and sort of the main character, and now this one is kind of combined the world, the movement, and the character, but we still know nothing about story or anything like that. There is a vast difference between the main character's models and everybody else. Like everyone else looks very just flat around, like on their faces and everything, whereas she's very, very well done. So it's especially they're basing her off an actress.
Her face is from a real human.
Yeah, it's very Square Enix. That
yes.
If you look around their other games, that is always the case. It's like they have this technological showpiece of how well they can mold a human character, and then you look at the background characters and go, all of the polygons from you are on her face. Like,
yeah.
But it looks really cool. I'm dead set excited for this, and it got a date of 2022. Spring 2022.
Well,
so
which is first quarter
is when everything's coming out. Yeah, Q1, early Q2 next year is going to be absolutely outrageous.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what would have been a good time for a pandemic?
Oh God, don't do that.
So yeah, that's Forspoken. I don't really want to talk about Guardians. We've seen it. They showed more of it. The more I see of the story, the more I'm kind of like, I think I can get through this. Like, if I can get past the uncanny valley situation that they're in, I think it looks like there is some strong writing there. And they've gone very, very cosmos with it.
Man,
Did
I
you
don't know if
did
I
you
can
guys
deal
get
with the
faked
humor
out
in
with
it.
the Marvel logo initially? You're like, oh,
Yes.
Marvel. Oh, what are they going to show?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's fucking Guardians. Okay.
I thought
Right.
that would have been Spider-Man, but then it wasn't. Anyway, that's later. But I don't know if I could deal with the humor in this game. That's just the writing of it. It's real cringeworthy, and even the Guardians movies aren't that cringeworthy. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Because they're genuinely well acted. It had a
Yeah.
good script and good actors. That's
I'm just
why
over.
the
I'm just
Guardians.
getting sick of it. Like I'm watching Marvel's What If, right? And it's garbage. Everything's quippy. Everything's a quip. Everything's quip. Like no spoilers, but in the last one, one of the supporting characters kills another supporting character, and they're meant to be friends. But as soon as they kill the other one, they do a quick throwaway quip about that person's death, and you're like, okay, all right. Of all times to have a quip, no worries. I'm just sick of it, and like this game seems to have more of it. The game otherwise looks cool. Like I'm pretty interested in it, but we'll see.
It's definitely not something that I'm falling into the trap of pre-ordering at
No,
all.
fuck no. Hell
It'll
no.
be something where I think it's coming out in like October, isn't it? So I'll let the dust settle and grab it on a Black Friday sale when it's got like 20%, 30% off or something like that, because it's not
Totally.
I'm not that into it. Speaking of which, I didn't realize how this month is starting to stack. So obviously, like Kina is at the end of the month. New World for me is at the end of the month as well. FIFA is at the end of the month, and it's like, where on earth did I get 3 games that I need to purchase? I mean, I've already bought Kina. I could just wait, but I'm probably not going to. I want to play it with ray tracing and shit. So
Hell yeah.
I'll probably just buy it again.
Don't forget the biggest game of the month, Sonic Colors, came out this week.
It did,
And
you
I
purchased
picked that up.
Yes. Not to detract from our actual conversation, we can talk about Sonic Colors in a bit. If you've played it yet, it's probably still sat in a box on your table, knowing you.
It actually is Jamie.
Nothing to talk about then, is there? Uncharted Collection's coming to PC. This is a kind of a throwaway thing. It's being remastered for PlayStation 5 and for PC. Dan, why do you look concerned? What happened?
No, nothing's concerned. It's just you kind of skipped over a few games early on, and I just wanted to have a couple of comments on. So I thought it was a shame that Alan Wake got leaked basically a couple of days ago before the conference. That would have been a nice surprise for people popping up. And Ghostwire Tokyo, I don't know if that game's for me, but it's very atmospheric.
That game looks sick. Holy shit. That's changed. I don't know if I'll play it, but I was like, fucking hell, this game looks sick as.
Yeah.
Ghostwire.
That was crazy.
I clearly didn't think anything of either of them because they didn't make my list. I was just like, yeah, Alan Wake. I mean, I guess for PlayStation fans, yeah, because you never played it before.
Never came there.
Yeah,
It's a show about games that never came to PlayStation that are suddenly coming to PlayStation.
Pretty
much. And then what was the other one you said?
Uncharted.
Ghostwire Tokyo. That does look cool. Again, it's one of those things where I don't know if it's for me, but it does look pretty sick. And you have to think the exclusivity on that, because it was always going to be. Was it a full exclusive or was it just a launch exclusive? Which one of them? Deathloop and it was just like, yeah, it's coming to Game Pass by the end of the year or something stupid.
Yeah, a year later or whatever.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, the Uncharted collection is being remastered for PlayStation 5. Don't know who's asking for this. Don't know why it needs doing. It's also coming to PC. Fair.
Of course you do, Dan.
I can't help it.
I mean, I'd be the same if it was Gears, you know. I know.
No, but we all fall into those trappings with like any game franchises that we love and enjoy. It's like, they've been polished up and we can now play them in a better It's just, I'm not someone to sit and play through games like that a second time. You know, when I've had the experience, I find it very difficult to try and do it again because I've seen everything there is to see.
I'm curious with all the Horizon stuff that happened last week. I'm curious to how this thing is going to be priced and what is for people that already own it. I'm just curious as to what that's going to be like because nothing was.
I think it'll just be. I think they'll just fresh launch it. It's called like the Legacy. Stuff or something, isn't it? Like Legacy Collection.
Yeah, and it's got both of them in the same pack, which I'll obviously get.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm echoing, by the way, on somebody's speakers. I'm assuming it's you, Dan.
Yeah, it's probably
Because me and Chunt have both got headsets on.
Mm.
So yeah, that's happening. It's doing a thing. Well done,
Yeah.
well done them for
I
nickel and
think
diming
this
people
was
to buy
actually
the same game again.
I thought it was actually a very interesting, and I guess we can talk about it now. It was a good lead in to the ideas at this point in the conference is when Herman Hulst came on screen and started talking about the PlayStation Studios, and it was at actually that point I went, oh shit, we actually haven't seen anything from PlayStation yet. And I hadn't even thought about it, because at this point I'm like this is a good conference. It looks like there's a bunch here for everyone, like Forspoken, that's probably my type of game. Ghostwire looks cool, not my thing. But so like it's going along nicely. Like there's nothing blown my mind quite yet. Well, Knights of the Old Republic is sort of that, but I always saw that and went, that's going to be at PlayStation for a little bit and then it's going elsewhere. But it's going along at a nice pace pretty well. And then, yeah, as soon as Herman Hulst comes on, I go, holy shit, I haven't seen anything from PlayStation yet. And I hadn't even realized
You're like,
it.
oh, yes.
Yep, he appeared. He's aged a lot in the last couple of years. I look at it and go, you look a lot older. Like
He works for
a
Jim
lot
Ryan.
older.
You'd look older too.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. So yeah,
brutal.
this was where the barrage of this is the stuff you can't play anywhere else come, which at the time I was going to you guys like, not seen anything yet that I can't play somewhere else. Like, and then literally as I said that, he appeared and went, you can't play any of this shit anywhere else. Mic drop. We'll gloss over Gran Turismo, but it's not, I don't think any of us play those types of games, do we?
It looks very pretty. Even
It
I
does
was
look
like, as a
incredibly pretty.
Forza guy that likes to play Forza games, I was like, you look very pretty, don't you? Yeah, and so
Car
It
porn.
did look very,
It's
very,
basically
very
just car
pretty.
porn.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
all
Look
of
at the
those
smooth
games
edges.
always are.
Mm.
Always are. So yeah, glossing over that one. We then, and if I've missed something here, I don't think I have, but I've gone straight to Wolverine, which was just
so
like
that was
the Marvel
that
logo.
was the first one. That was the first one they
Yeah.
showed. And
The Marvel logo was just, I was like, oh, maybe Spider-Man now, because Insomniac's logo was there. And then when it wasn't, I was like, you fucking what when?
yeah, and that was such a good fake out too, because they showed Insomniac and Marvel, and so your mind is automatically thinking, all right, this is Spider-Man. And I'm looking at this trailer and I'm like, who is this character? Like, I'm trying to visualize the character in the Spider-Man like world. Like, is it a rogues gallery villain or someone? I'm trying to visualize it, and then when the claws come out, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and as soon as I saw the dude sitting at the bar in a flannel shirt,
I knew it was Wolverine.
I was like, this is Wolverine, man.
I didn't need the claws again. It's the atmosphere, the bar, the checkered lumberjack gear. I was like, this is Wolverine. This is Logan. This is their take on. I actually thought they were going to call it like Logan or something, and then it's like, oh, it's Wolverine.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely wild.
So one of the things
honestly didn't see that coming.
On that tag, it also had in development for PlayStation 5. So that's nice that they're doing that.
Yes.
My query, so with Ratchet and with Spider-Man, their games, even though they play very differently, they both really deal with gadgets and like your weapon wheels and the different stuff you can do. I wonder how they're going to apply that to a game like Wolverine, who is not a gadget guy. Like he's
I have an
full
answer
on.
for you, Dan. I have an answer.
Okay.
Go play Hugh Jackman's Wolverine Origins on Xbox 360. Holy crap, that's a lot of fun. There you go. If they could do that for that game, it's a movie tie-in. Imagine what they could do with an actual Insomniac Games game with a budget. They didn't know what they're doing. I'm really actually looking forward to that game, and I want to see what they do with it. 100%.
It's interesting to me how they described it. And again, yeah, I don't know if it was the guys on the podcast Beyond who, let's just say like 3/4 of that panel I can't stand. But one of them made quite an astute observation, is that if you look at or it might have been Greg actually, it's kind of funny. They mentioned like when you pull the PlayStation blog up and you look at the post from Insomniac talking about both of these games, it's like Spider-Man is always described as, an open world. like a vast open world, and there's like acronyms that they use to make you think, oh shit, I'm going to be flying around this city, like it's going to be big in scope. But the language they'd used to describe Wolverine was like a more contained and like emotional, narrative driven. So I think it might play a little bit more linear and a little bit more Last of Us vibe than be an open world a la Spider-Man.
So my thinking when I was thinking about this later on, earlier on today, was I feel like this might be a kind of when Naughty Dog goes from Uncharted to Last of Us. So Uncharted is okay. We're human, Nathan Drake, but he's doing crazy feats that you would need every ounce of energy to do just one of those stunts, and he's doing it all the time. And then they kind of go to Last of Us, which is, like Joel can't jump and he can't crawl down. He's like he's a 50-year-old man who's crouches behind crates and whatever it is. So not in terms of the tone or anything, because I think Insomniac have a very unique tone to their games. But I think I wonder if Wolverine from Spider-Man to this is a change in the tone and the style of game that they want to make, being just the character. That's what I'm kind of picturing. So you still will have the things that remind you of the studio, but they're going to be it's almost like their Batman, like their actual Arkham version of
it's going to be
what
grittier.
Insomniac
It's going to be
is.
grittier for sure. It's going to be
ground-based.
like Ratchet and Spider-Man can be, well, Ratchet's aimed, at a younger audience. Spider-Man is kind of your younger, your teenage audience. There's nothing there that's too offensive that goes that this can't. I think they could go full like mature rating with Wolverine.
They'll definitely have humor because that's what they do, Insomniac.
Oh, I don't doubt that it'll have some fun, but I think it may have that kind of. Not that they won't just do Hugh Jackman's Wolverine because they like to make the characters their own, but in a similar way to how Hugh Jackman's Wolverine films are not funny, but they've got humor in them where it's more that he's just a grumpy old cunt that is like what makes it funny, and it's like that's what makes him so endearing. So if they can twist that kind of humor, I'm all about it. When do you think it's coming?
Well, for timeline comparison, if Spider-Man 2, which we'll talk about soon, is coming out in 2003, the creative director for the Wolverine game is the creative director behind Miles Morales. So they are very early on this game. They would have only just been starting it towards the end of last year. So I reckon it's probably 2024, probably the year after Spider-Man.
I don't think it'll be as big as Spider-Man 2. I reckon you could have a double header year, both in 2023.
Yeah, but the fidelity is still going to be crazy. That's if it's not as big, they go more depth.
I think end of the year 2024 at absolute earliest. I think it'll be in that Miles release window, but in 2024 because we don't know. Well, we know that there are games queuing up for PlayStation, but we know pretty much the big ones coming now for 2022 and 2023. So it's kind of like look into the future, like what's going to be there. And I think it will be Star Wars and Wolverine will be their big ones for 24. Cautious of time, let's carry on moving. So yeah, we had our dose of Wolverine, and then unless I'm missing anything else, which I don't think I am, we got our dose of Spider-Man. It was another Marvel logo. It's another Insomniac logo, and you go, what fucking hell? How many teams do these guys got? And Spider-Man 2. Now we have Miles and Peter working together. I think we'd pretty much assumed that after Miles's game, right? That it was going to be a bit of a buddy cop scenario. It's not co-op, it is single player. There is no mention of it being a co-op adventure. So I think it'll be that we play certain missions as Peter, certain ones as Miles, or we can interchange between the two, a la GTA 5, where you can swap around and pick which one you want to play as.
That would be cool. That would be so cool.
It will be very interesting. Venom being in it was a surprise. I thought, and I think we even said this in our predictions when we did the show for what we want from Spider-Man 2, was that they were going to go Green Goblin because the whole illusions that were placed before us in the first game with Jesus Christ, what's he called? Norman what?
Osborne.
Osborne.
That's the one, Osborne. My brain's fried. And the whole kind of secret experiments and stuff. And it's like, yeah, this is clearly gearing up Green Goblin as a villain, which we never got in that game. So it was just pretty much, kind of, we'll get him in the sequel. No mention there though. There's a lot of thoughts around, where Venom has come from and who's kind of the master manipulator behind the scenes. Who are you presuming at the moment, Dan?
Well,
John, or either of you?
Yeah, let John.
oh man, it's obvious. Like the guy with the accent talking is Craven the Hunter, right?
Yeah,
He's going to be wanting that prize for the Spider-Man or one of the Spider-Men in this game. And obviously, like there was a misdirection where you've got this narration happening with an accent. I immediately went, "Why does Eddie Brock have a like Russian accent? That's not right. What are they doing?" And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, Craven. It must be Craven because he's talking about hunting, wanting a hunt." And then they like show Venom after the narration to kind of misdirect you, and I was like, "Oh my god, yes, fuck!" Like, Craven's always about he's the apex predator. That's his deal, and he wants to like hunt the biggest game. So what's the biggest game? You got 3 kind of Spider-Man type characters. Is he going after all 3 or just one of them? Who knows?
yeah.
Oh shit, man! Fuck, I want this game. Holy shit!
Yeah. So I was having the same thought. So I'm like, well, so is he hunting Venom? But then how does that bring the Spider-Man into it? But then I'm like, maybe this is a game where like Venom is hunting Peter Parker Spider-Man and Craven is hunting Miles Morales Spider-Man, and somehow in the game both characters are separated somehow and they're fighting their own battles during the game, like, or is he just hunting Venom and somehow their battle brings in the Spider-Mans to try and stop it? There's so many ways I can go with this. I'm pretty sure, yeah, based on the last game, based on the closing credits, we know who Venom is, who was in the tank. So I think that's pretty obvious, but I'm very curious to see how they're going to tackle this one. Especially with the Venom movie coming and apparently a Craven movie coming. It's all Sony synergy.
Yes.
On that basis, though, how do you think? Because obviously in the first Spider-Man game, we had, a bunch of villains. Like, obviously we had our main threat, but there was a bunch of kind of side villains. Who else do you expect to see in this? I still think we do see Green Goblin. I think
I do. I think it's
there
overdue.
as well.
Yeah, I think you do.
Wait, there was Vulture, there was Electro, there was Doc Ock, and Rhino in the other one.
It's hard. I don't know if we could spoil the first game or not. But I think wouldn't surprise me if Osborn became Goblin, to as a way initially to help save somebody. And that's where it starts, and then things go wrong. That wouldn't surprise me. And then I think there'll be other like smaller villains throughout, but I think there'll be a lot of Insomniac has taken a lot of stuff from Naughty Dog in terms of their inspiration with stuff, and I think something Naughty Dog have done a lot lately is changing characters through games. And it wouldn't surprise me if that was a big part of this game, which is changing characters.
We didn't have Mysterio, right?
We haven't seen Mysterio.
No, we didn't. We haven't. No. I think Mysterio's too big a character to play a bench character in this game, though. I was going to say if we've got Venom, do you think we then have the other symbiotes, or is it just going to be?
We probably could. I mean, if you wanted to go the corporate synergy route, you could.
That's what I mean, because there's obviously the Carnage movie with that'd play in quite nicely. But
oh man, I want that. Oh man.
But yeah, could you imagine all of them just rocking up? Goblin, Mysterio, Venom, Carnage, like they had soon started to stack up and be a.
I don't think they'll do like a Sinister. I don't think they'll do like a Sinister Six thing again because they've done it before. But part of that game was making you fight 2 of the Sinister Six at the same time, like trying to change up the gameplay and how you fight. So that wouldn't surprise me if they tried something like that, where they're testing you on the different abilities you have as either Spider-Man.
It's 2023 again. I think it's going to be a full 2023 game, and just give us it. We all wildly enjoyed the first one, and yeah, we just there's nothing else to say. Can't get here soon enough. I think there's
I
going to
called
be
it last week. I was like, oh, it would have come out in 2022, but COVID, so it's probably going to come 2023. And then they showed.
Oh my
you were
god.
you were correct. And then the big kind of coup de grace at the end was God of War.
Mm.
Didn't resonate too much with me. I've actually got some. It just looked like more God of War to me. Do you know what I mean? Like it looked very much like I didn't notice, when it's all captured on PlayStation 5, I was like, this doesn't actually look that much better than God of War did. Like whether that's a testament to then go, that's because that version of God of War looked so good running on such old hardware that it was never going to compete. But
Yes.
yeah,
And it will have to run on that hardware again.
That is
Yeah.
also correct. But yeah, I didn't really get too many vibes from this. Like it's very cool to see what they're doing with the the whole Asgard and the Ragnarok and Norse mythology and their God of War, the big dude. It was like, yeah, that's quite a when he stood up and just dwarfs Kratos, and it's like, yeah, this is a serious fella. And obviously, we've seen the character art come out for Thor, who was alluded to be, more in line with the mythological representation as opposed to the stunning hunk of a man that we're used to being Thor these days. But it was cool to see that that's the direction they've gone, and they weren't just carbon copying the kind of Viking themed Thor that we know and love from the movies. It's more like, yeah, no, this is what he was actually in the mythos. This is, he was a big red-headed dude with a chunky belly, and like he threw hammers, man.
He did, yes.
He was a jock that loved to drink. Like
Yes,
exactly.
Well,
Which, do you know what, they did try and play into that a little bit, I think, albeit tongue in cheek in Infinity War. With Thor being like, it's like he was still hard as fucking nails and a god, even though he'd eaten all the chicken and drank all the beer. So it was like fair enough. But yeah, it's it looked like more God of War to me. You guys have got more of a kinship with this franchise than I do. So Chun, can you give us your thoughts first? Because you resonate quite a lot with the character of Thor from this series.
Representation matters, as I shared online today. So, look, I feel obligated to play the game, obviously, because Viking theme and whatnot. But also, I echo your same sentiments. I watched it and I was like, okay. That was my impression. I was like, all right, cool. I did like to see the whatever the blades that he, his traditional blades. I know he gets them at the end of the other game. Spoilers if you haven't played the game. I mean, it's been 50 years since the last one came out. But that was cool. And I was like, right, so you get to keep those in this game. That's great to see. But otherwise, yeah, the same diff. I was like, all right, it doesn't look like a PS5 game. But Dan, you made a good point. Then it didn't occur to me that this would be coming on old hardware as well. But look, I am still keen on going back and trying the first game again. I want to give it a good chance. And because I love the first trilogy and I really want to love this one. So I think I just need to make sure when this one comes out, I've just got a clean slate where I can just play that game and then just free myself up to experience. But yeah, it's cool to see, man. I'm glad that we're getting it. Like I said last week or whenever we did the show last, if they show God of War and Spider-Man, I'm in. This whole just my overall. I'm just going to run into my overall thoughts on it. Like as a guy that hasn't really been impressed too much with what PlayStation's been showing since launch, like, it hasn't really made me go, fuck, I need one. Today was the day where that happened, where I was like, oh, all right, yeah, you've got your Wolverine, your Spider-Man, and you God of War, and yeah, and you don't forget Stray, that cat game. There's a handful of games there for me now, but holy shit, I will have one at least by 2023 if they're available. Holy shit, yes. Yeah, that's
quite interesting that they didn't. Do you know what, Dan? Give your thoughts on God of War first, because we're going to spiral into overall surmising here.
Yeah, so I was watching it, and I don't think you're wrong in saying it looks like more God of War, but then on the other hand, if you want to be positive about it, it's more God of War, and 100%. That's not a bad thing. And obviously there's things like Tyr and that, which is really cool to see after playing the last game, because Tyr is mentioned a lot in the first game, and they just he's referred to a lot. So it's cool that they're kind of bringing all the stuff that they talked about in the first game into this one. Actually, the things that interested me the most about God of War, to be honest, was a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff. So one, there was no release date on the trailer at all, not even year or anything, and I think that is kind of a admittance to the fact that they probably shouldn't have done it last time. And they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Next time we're giving you dates or anything, it's going to be when the game is coming. So we're not doing that. The other thing is Corey Barlog not directing this game because they had their little interview after the showcase, and it's one of the other guys from there, and Barlog was on the screen, and they asked like, "What is he up to?" And he goes, "Oh, we're doing some very exciting stuff here, but I'm not going to tell you." So I think that is lending into the credence that Sony Santa Monica have another game possibly in the works, and that's something he's working on. Maybe because I'm assuming he had a lot to do with the story of this game, but the fact that it's handed off and he's kind of like, yeah, I'm taking a back seat. I don't need, like, it was 5 years of my life. I need to take a break from that. But the fact that they're talking about that there's exciting stuff happening, I think I think they're gearing up for something else as well at the same time.
It's again a bit of an open secret that they've got two teams, right, for a while. But just again, there's still no allusion to what this second team's spinning up, and yeah, interesting to see what it could be, because I'd hope it's a new IP.
Yes,
I'd hope it's
say that.
I'd hope it's something different,
They've
and I
only
hope
made
that
God
it's
of War
something.
games.
No, not even God. I just hope as well. I hope they're not getting given a Marvel IP or something, and Sony's just becoming the Marvel. But I want it to be something innovative and new and dangerous, and like, fuck, this might not work, but then if it does work, holy shit, we've got a cash cow on our hands, like kind of vibe. Because if there's any takeaway from this show, and as I was watching it, as it finished, I was like, very much like Chunt said, like, there's games here you just have to have a PlayStation 4, right? You've got to. There's no way around it. It's undoubted that they still have best in class video games, but they're falling into a bit of a trap, which we mentioned a few weeks back, of sequels, and they all look a bit the same, and we're just falling into a pattern where it's same shit, different console, same shit, different console, and it's like, and again, everybody is guilty of this. The industry as a whole. It's not just pointing fingers at PlayStation. But when was the last time they showed us something and we went, holy fuck, that looks innovative and awesome? And it's like you're going back to probably when we saw Spider-Man, and it's like, wow, they're using new tech here. Do you know what? Give them a bit of credit and say Ratchet and Clank, the portal jump in it. So it's like, whoa, pretty cool. But we don't see enough of that. We're just seeing sequels and safety, and like, nobody's trying anything different, and all that these big studios are working on is sequels to establish properties, and it's like, I just want them to have a bit of creative freedom, which Jim Ryan's Sony is not what it's about. I think it was I heard a soundbite this morning, actually. I was like eating breakfast. I think you just leave YouTube auto playing in the background. I was like listening to some coverage of stuff, and I think David Jaffe summed it up quite well. He's like, and this guy created God of War, for fuck's sake. Is that the thing that he finds quite irritating about PlayStation as a whole, and not just the God of War team, what God of War did, but PlayStation as a whole now is under Jim Ryan is starting to feel like Tim Cook at Apple. It's like beforehand when you had Shu and House and and what's he called, the other guy that everybody keeps saying they should bring back, Sean Layden. Yeah, it's like you had those guys, and it's like that was Steve Jobs. That was like never stop being fun, never stop being dangerous, like, can innovate, do cool shit. That was them. And it's like they created this behemoth, and then Jim Ryan kind of took it over, and now it's very Tim Cook. It's procedural, and it's absolutely blasting money out of the door, and it's making hand over fist, and they've got a good rep, but it's just safe, and it's iteration, and it's like, I was like, quite an interesting way of putting it in terms of tech and video games. Whereas with technology, everybody still buys a new iPhone. Apple don't have a problem. So Sony can quite comfortably sit there and go, we'll just put out another God of War, another Horizon, another Spider-Man, and nobody's going to have a problem because they've already built themselves that reputation. But what happens then is there's going to become a point where people turn around and go, oh, I'm fucking bored of this. What else have you got in the locker? And they go, nothing, because we've just been churning out more of what you liked. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't have those people doing new shit, your fire's going to burn out, is my point. And I thought that was quite an interesting take. But yeah, on the whole, you can't deny that this showcase just it hit the money. I don't buy this fucking fanboy crap that it's the best showing they've ever had. And
Fuck no.
It's not. A long way away from that. Great to see gameplay of Spider-Man. Didn't think we were going to get that. God of War, we saw more than I probably thought we were going to. Wolverine was like a holy fucking drop your pants. What the fuck is this moment?
Yeah,
that was that was the Jesus Christ, didn't see that coming moment of it.
Yeah.
And as I said, I think Forspoken was my
surprise.
where it's something that we knew about, but not a surprise, but just going, oh, I'm more into this than I thought I was. Like, I want that game. And then Star Wars obviously was a mic drop at the start, if you like. So that's kind of my summary of it. Chunt, you started to give one a little bit. You got anything else to add?
Yeah, look, Xbox. Yeah, you've got PlayStation with 2 major Marvel exclusive character games. Like, where's my 2 DC exclusive games? Just go to Warner Brothers with a suitcase of money and go, give us exclusive Batman and exclusive for Superman. Holy crap. I want to see some shit. Oh, fucking hell. That was one of my first thoughts out of this. I was like, oh my God, Wolverine and Spider-Man. Arguably 2 of the biggest Marvel characters in IP that they have, right? Recognizable names. Xbox have got to come back with something. I want them to so badly. But yeah, otherwise,
remember that they got Indiana Jones. Like they
don't give a fuck about Indiana Jones. Who gives a shit about Indiana Jones? Like, really? Like, I don't believe anyone that says, "Oh yeah, golly gosh, I'm really looking forward to Indiana Jones." Really? No. But good on you if you are. It's for you. But cool. No, I want my goddamn Superman and Batman. God damn it. But yeah, like PlayStation, cool. Like I will give you props when it's due. And today I was very impressed. I actually want a console that you have, in a couple of years. Well done.
Dan, your finishing thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. As I said, it was basically cruising out of 7. I think the stuff they showed at the end that Sony's studios are working on kind of bumps it up to like an, I don't know, 8.5. Like, it's like, it was great. It's not the best thing they've ever done, but I went in just trying to limit my expectations very, very low. And when Wolverine came off, it kind of blew that up a bit, because that was just not something I was expecting. Came out of nowhere. It's just weird. It's going to sound like I'm defending Jim Ryan's regime, but I'm really not. I will just press upon the point that a lot of these games, not the Wolverine one, but a lot of these games are games that would have come anyway, even if they hadn't changed. Like, there would have been a God of War sequel. There would have been a Spider-Man 2. We would have seen these games, and I don't know if from end of 2019, I don't think there would have been enough greenlit games for us to see yet. And I think in the next couple of years is where we're going to see, are they going to just double down on things that they're already doing, or are they going to do something new? Are we going to get like Horizon in 2017, God of War 2018, Death Stranding 2019, and then Ghost of Tsushima in 2020? Like, are we going to get like 4 years of just like different shit that wasn't done before? I think the jury's still out on that at the moment, but they still keep showing me things I want to buy. So it's good showing, and yeah,
that's all they need to do. Right. Well, we'll end the show with a little readout of Ryan McCaffrey at IGN's tweet that I don't know if either of you saw. Kind of last thing last night after this had happened. Now I think this line that he's put is like the next 2-ish years. So it's like it's not a fuck it. It says the next 2-ish years. Xbox in the next 2-ish years. Halo Infinite, Forza 5, Hellblade 2, Redfall, Starfield, Fable, Avowed, Gears 6. PlayStation in the next 2-ish years. Horizon, God of War Ragnarok, GT7, Spider-Man 2, KOTOR Remake, Ghostwire Tokyo, Forspoken, Wolverine. Forget console wars, both consoles rock. Like,
Just play the
Yeah.
fucking games.
just play the
Yes.
games. I mean, we've been whinging all year that there's been pretty much fuck all to play this year. And I think there's been stuff to play this year. It's just there's not been that big thing.
Yeah.
There's not been that blockbuster kind of slam dunk moment. And I don't think we're going to have it this year at all. I don't think anything that's still slated to come this year is going to give us that. I think that starts Q1 of next year, but it gets kicked off by Horizon, or we start moving through and we get these
12 other
a bunch of the
things
other
on the
stuff.
same day.
A lot of other things, on the same day, and then we'll finish the year with The Legend of Zelda, and it's like there's going to be a lot to play next year. It's going to be good, and then into 2023. I fucking hope we see Fable in 23, man. That's all that I want to see in 23. Give me Fable, Spider-Man in the same year, and I am sorted.
Ooh, yes.
So that's video games. That's this week. I'm Jamie. That's Dan. That's Chunt. Left and right of both to the left of me from what you're looking at. They're not on my screen, but we'll see you next week.
Boy, boys.
Bye.